Hey,
What's
it's
up,
new
man?
comic book day.
What's going
All right,
on?
so
We've already got people carrying on in the chat.
I know.
They started without us.
They started without us. They don't even need us.
I see
So-
Marcus, John, JD. Hello, everybody.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
What's up, everybody?
Adrian, 62 Lefty, John, our buddies John Spilio, Stevie B. This is moving too fast. Lars Man was in the house.
Literally, they started 5 minutes ago. Like, where are these guys?
They don't even need us. We just bring the comics. So Kyle, our producer, asked a question before the show started, and it looks like, Kyle, it is North Carolina by 2024. The Wawa will open.
Garbage.
Yes.
Wait, where is it?
So-
North Carolina?
North Carolina. Now, for those of you watching that are not from the local area, or if you're in Florida, you know about them now. Wawa is a convenience store chain in our general area that pretty much has had a stranglehold in the region for years and years and years. And they busted into Florida in the last few years, and now it looks like they're opening in North Carolina. Kyle, our producer, is upset because he's located in Ohio, and it's not opening in Ohio. Though I got to tell you, I had a grilled sandwich today for lunch from Wawa. I got to say, I was not impressed. I don't know if it was the grilled chicken was too healthy for me or what the deal was, but it was not good. It was on a brioche bun, and that wasn't good. I really didn't enjoy it. So
No, I'll tell you what.
Out.
No, since coming back, I've expanded my only get the same thing every single time to trying everything. A lot of the stuff I got was like really not good, and I'm a big Wawa guy. I'm a big Wawa guy.
I noticed a significant change when they started to bake the bread in the stores. It was better when they would get the bread from like one of the established bakeries in the area.
See, I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, they switched up. So one thing
was at Moroso, another time for a while it was
Lucios. Yeah, and they make excellent bread.
I just want to talk about how there's one literally 2 miles over the border in Pennsylvania. Like when you cross into Pennsylvania on the Ohio Turnpike, there's one literally 2 miles over the border.
I went to that one too.
They can't come this way.
So this is probably going to make you crazy, Kyle, because I can tell you that within a 3 to 4 mile radius of my house, there are 3, and 2 of them have gas stations.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
yep.
I can walk.
So where I'm at in Toledo, right? It's interesting because we don't have Jack in the Box either.
I haven't seen Jack in the Box in years.
I could tell you exactly where the closest Jack in the Box is to my house. It's in Alton, Illinois. It's a 12-hour drive. It's worth it if you're going anywhere west of the Mississippi to go through Alton just to get the Jack in the Box. But like seriously, 2 miles, y'all. Because once they come into Ohio, then they can start expanding into Ohio, and eventually we'll get one where I'm at. But no, you're gonna go to the Carolinas. Stupid.
They actually just built one, maybe less than 5 minutes from my house, and there's one 5 minutes from my house the opposite direction too. Like they just finished building it.
Yeah, it definitely in our area it's a bit oversaturated. I started going to Royal Farms just to break up. What's wrong with Royal Farms?
No, I've never been there before.
Cut the feed. Ew. No.
What's wrong with Royal Farms?
I said ew.
Join us tomorrow night as we discuss the problems with Royal Farms that John has.
What is Royal Farms?
Too. So Ryan in the house. Ryan says, yeah, but it's worth going through Mississippi.
I don't know if I've ever been to Royal
What is?
Farms.
He's never even been there.
I don't think I've been to Royal Farms. I've driven past them, but I have no idea. I know
it's like a Wawa, except that they're supposedly known for the best fast food fried chicken. Yeah, fast food fried chicken. I gotta admit, it's not bad. It's a little bit on the salty side for me.
I will tell you though,
the general consensus of everybody, it's like a salty chicken.
Yeah, it's pretty salty. So with my high blood pressure, it's really not probably the best choice of
just take more medicine. I had high blood pressure too. I just tripled my medicine. It came right back.
I take a diuretic. They tell me that after the first one, 2 is like only has 20% effectiveness. 3, you might as well just stop wasting your time. So
if you guys ever make it out to the Midwest area, try Brahms. Brahms is phenomenal.
Brahms. Never heard of that one. I've been to Sheetz.
I'll tell you what, Brahms is a place that I will actually miss.
Sheetz is in Ohio. Sheetz is originally from Ohio. And the only way you can open a Sheetz franchise is to marry into the family. So I sent them a tweet not that long ago asking if they had any available granddaughters.
Please.
I want a Sheets
Shot
franchise.
them a link to his Plenty
I mean,
of
there's
Fish
some
page.
Sheets in Philly, in the Philadelphia area, and I've stopped at them, but never to like really, just to get gas or something like that, right? But my daughter and I went last summer to State College, Penn State, and we got there real late. And with the pandemic and everything else, almost all the restaurants, even fast food joints, were closed.
Yeah.
So we had no choice but to stop at a Sheets. And I got to tell you, I fell in love with Sheets. They had the whole entire menu, the burgers, fries, the whole 9 yards, some questionable looking sandwiches that look like watered down Spam, which I looked at. I said, well, that might be interesting for breakfast. And my daughter goes, ew, Dad, what are you talking? That's dog food in a bun. I'm like, yeah, it looks like dog food. It might not taste like dog food.
Marcus, I sent my my Bumble profile, actually.
But I got to tell you, and they had beer, wine and beer. I was in love with that sheet, and I felt my tank up.
In Ohio, at a couple of the Sheets, you can get beer in the restaurant. Like you can have a beer while you're there.
The one Wawa next to my gym just opened up a beer area.
Yeah, in PA you can get away with beer and wine as a distributor. It's so funny the way the Pennsylvania liquor laws work. But all right, so let's start off with a couple items. As always, we're going to start off with the Dynamite 10-pack reader set, 10 random Dynamite titles. Most everybody in the chats, they know all about it. Suggested retail $3.99 a cover, and so suggested retail $40. We're selling all 10 comics, random Dynamite titles, for $5 as a thank you to all our viewers. So that's always up there. And then we're going to get to the best offer item one of our best offer items of the evening. It's Robin #3, signed by Joshua Williamson. Suggested retail of $49.99 and is one of our best offer books, starting at $15. All right, so there we go. Just to get it kicked off, this one is number 4 of 27. And for anybody that's just tuning in, never actually put up a claim or claimed anything on the show, we have 2 types of claims. One is a buy it now claim. We'll throw up a price. First person to claim it in the chats is the winner. And then we'll have the best offer of the night claim. We'll throw out a starting price, and the person with the best claim offer at $7.55, right 5 minutes before the end of the show, will be the winner. And Kyle will throw up a submission form, a link to a submission form, which we ask you to fill out. It lets us match up your username with your real name, and then, of course, the so important ship to address where we're going to ship your claims. All right, so let's see. Looks like Brahms is got a big fan base there.
I'm telling you, it's all homegrown. Like
Nice.
Even like everything, even the animals is all farm raised on a Brahms farm, and it's very high quality food. I was extremely impressed. If I miss one thing from living out there, it is Brahms.
All right, well, maybe what we should do is we should convince Dynamite to buy us like an RV. And John and I will scout around the country, okay, doing videos of the best and the worst convenience store food across America. What do you think?
Promotional vehicles are very on trend right now.
See?
The people that used to be, and I'm going to get laughed at for this, but the people that used to be my representation will, they have a promotional vehicle now. And instead of windows, it has flat screens and stuff like that. And
I'm telling you, this could be big. This could be huge.
I've been part of a few of those projects, going to concerts, doing stuff. People love that stuff, man. You cruise around with the technology now. You can,
I watch videos of a dude sitting in his car. I think he's Canadian and he's in Canada, and he goes to all these truck stops and he just all these different places, fast food joints, and then orders food and then starts videotaping him eating it. And I'm watching. I'm glued to it. And I think John and I are far more interesting than that dude. But
to answer John's question,
yes,
John, I have not read Jennifer Blood 6. I've been kind of busy, and I did not. I got these things on Monday too, but I have not read it yet. I'm sorry. I am one of those people that keep pushing. I would love to see Jennifer Blood as a live action series.
Yeah, you've mentioned that before.
I mentioned that before. Jennifer Blood is something that I think someone is going to pick up. And you know what I mean? Sort of like it took a little while. I think The Boys sort of opened the door for, for example, I understood that Lady Killer, which is somewhat similar to Jennifer Blood, had a development deal and then it fell through because they couldn't quite wrap their heads around it. I think with the right studio like Amazon, they embrace the boys. They're, I think you could see. I think you could see big things from Jennifer Blood, especially if they sign the right actress.
Right. So Lars Man says, add a smoker grill to the Dynamite Evil Knievel van and have John cook in comic shop parking lots. That might not be a bad idea at all. Dave says, if you guys eat gas station food across the country, won't make it across the country. I beg to differ, Mr. Cerrone. John and I have eaten Spam for years, and we're still breathing, okay?
With help, but I'm still.
So, two things on this particular topic.
What's that?
I know someone who drives the greatest promotional vehicle ever. They are employed by Oscar Mayer.
Yeah, the Oscar Mayer, the Wienermobile. I think.
Yes.
Yep.
That's been around for years.
Greatest promotional vehicle ever.
It is actually.
It's surprisingly easy to drive too.
If you eat gas station food across the country, what happens is you pickle yourself, so you can't die.
Yeah, you're preserved.
I would agree with that. Okay, so Spam is a step up from gas station food. Well,
not a big step.
I love Spam, but I don't know if I go.
I know.
It's like a baby step.
Okay. And if you flash back to like 1987, 1988, you'll see Toms River, New Jersey. There's a mall right off of Hooper Avenue that had Steve Gursky's Comic Relief Shop in it. And you'll see some fat guy cooking on a hibachi in the parking lot waiting for the store to open to pick up Supreme #1.
Huh.
And I'm there making breakfast sandwiches at like
Lakewood, right next to the wonderful
Toms River.
Or Tom's River.
Tom's River.
Yes,
it's been done at least once before where somebody, quote unquote, tailgated in a comic book shop parking lot. The security came over and said I couldn't cook there until I made them a sandwich.
Right.
And then they were like, well, you can't cook here all day. I said, okay. I'm just waiting for the comic book store to open.
They should have hired you. All right. So everybody wants to see the statue. I did promise Ron a statue on Monday. We did not have one. So as a man of my word, we have Women of Dynamite, Deja Thoris. I think somebody actually requested Deja Thoris. I don't remember who. Deja Thoris, J. Scott Campbell inspired diorama bronze edition. Suggested retail of $299.99, and it is a best offer statue starting at $50. All right, so
that's where John was walking around earlier. He's trying to find that to sneak off with.
Yeah, the statue's a little harder. He needs to bring a bag. Can't slide that one under your shirt, sir.
I got a pretty big shirt. Have you not seen me?
So, all right, Dwayne's Payne's in it for $50. All right, Dwayne.
Yeah, I don't know who asked about this. But
yeah, I forget too.
This is a very
well.
Cool.
Ron asked for a statue. All right, Lars Man's at 75.
Well, somebody asked about the Thoris.
Somebody, maybe it was Lars Man.
I think the point I brought up the last time on this is the full color statue looks great. Don't take it the wrong way; it really does. But the bronze statue almost looks like something you would see if they did another live action movie.
Well, it literally
looks like
it has a museum look to it, if you will.
Really very cool.
So very cool. So Stevie B says Spam is 85 years young this year. It made its debut in 1937, more indestructible than Superman.
Did I tell you guys I wrote a jingle for your show, but I have to clear it through my through a lawyer because it may or may not be too close to a Monty Python sketch involving a certain compound meat?
Then it's got to be a cool jingle. if there's a possibility you may step on the intellectual property.
I thought he was going to say it was spam related.
It is
like a Spam-a-lot thing.
It's a Monty Python sketch involving a certain compound meat. Spam.
Wait, was that the
Spam-a-lot?
No, there was another movie where one of them explodes from eating too much. I can't remember the name of the movie.
Walk for Thin Mints, sir.
That's the life of Brian. Or
no, that wasn't the life of Brian.
It's Holy Grail.
I can't remember
Life
the
of
name.
Brian. Meaning of Life.
Yes, Meaning of Life. That's right.
Lars Man just said it. Meaning of Life.
There you go. Thanks, Lars Man. Dwayne's a pain. They do talk about spam a lot. We do, sir. We absolutely do. We were talking about the bug festival they have in Philadelphia every year.
Oh no, not the bug.
This man can make anything out of Spam, but won't eat bugs.
No,
and then had the audacity to say to me, that Spam is real food. No, it's not. And I'm a fan.
I'm going to bring you a loaf of bread with slugs on it. I'm going to tell you, here you go. And you're going to be like, what?
I have faith in you, dude. Let's see. Marcus goes, if they can sculpt Deja out of Spam. John might be able to. John might have the talents to do that. All right, so let's get to our last best offer book of the night. We've got Teen Titans number 20, CGC graded variant cover, guaranteed 9.8. And a suggested retail of $89.99, and it is a best offer book starting at $25. Yep, $25.
Alec, do you remember who this is the first appearance of?
Teen Titans 20.
Yeah, there's a first appearance in this book that was hot.
Is it Crush?
Might be.
Is that this one?
I don't remember. I was hoping you would.
I'll look at it.
It's funny because I was like, I hope somebody has the answer.
Oh, yes. Good job, man. That was good. Yep. First full appearance of Crush, Djinn, and Roundhouse.
Okay.
It is Crush?
Good job, Al.
Yep. Dwayne's
job,
first
Al.
Crush Lobo's daughter. Yep.
Yeah, look at that. All the guys out there that say I don't know anything about DC.
Who said that?
Who said that? You know what? We have something really cool we should do next.
What?
Because Ronald will be like, where's the slabs? Where's the good stuff? Give him the good stuff right away.
Okay. Which one?
The Reanimator thing.
Okay. So let's see.
This Reanimator thing is so cool. And it's one of the higher CGC grades we've had on the show.
The Reanimator,
Cool.
the Eternal Lie.
World of Cthulhu. I love Cthulhu. So when I saw this, I was immediately like, oh.
Suggested retail of $299.99. We have the 9.9 guaranteed for $199.99 tonight. So $100 off of that.
Yeah, that's.
So it's rare. I mean,
I've actually seen that for a little bit more than $299. So when I saw what we were going to offer it for, I was like, oh.
Well, we send a lot of books out, obviously, submit a lot of books to get graded. And we get, we get a fair amount, but you see sometimes when we offer those graded books, we offer it as 9.6 or higher, because you never know the mix of 9.6s and 9.8s you're going to get on the books. But every now and again we get lucky and one, squeezes through at a 9.9.
I was going to say, I saw that and I was like,
yeah. And a lot of times we're able to bring them here mainly because the quantities are too small to really do anything with on the website. So hold on. Okay, Lars, man, I got you 25 on the Teen Titans number 20, 9.8.
I think the last time I saw this book in like a Facebook group or something, it was like 340 or 335 or 340. Somebody was looking for it because
it's hard to get a 9.9.
Well, it's hard to get a 9.9. Also, Cthulhu, yeah, Lars, man, I was like worshiping the deep. All hell Cthulhu. If you're a Lovecraft fan, if you're a Cthulhu fan, this is a real nice fight. I mean, and I never recommend people buying these things as an investment, but this will be something at the current rate of expansion. By the summertime, it'll probably be $350.
Right.
And you're grabbing it at $199. That's almost like a $300.
There is probably I would say there's probably no better example currently for whether it be sports collectibles or comic collectibles, whatever, but just collectibles in general. That is a better lesson of being careful when you're speccing new stuff, as opposed to stuff that's established like, let's say a Babe Ruth game used bat or something like that, right? Is obviously the poor gentleman who bid and won. And I believe the number was $518,000.
Oh God, this is the Tom Brady thing again, is it?
$518,000 and some change. It's really
a lot of money.
And for the final touchdown football ever thrown in Tom Brady's career, only to have him come back after 40 days. And literally the auction closed this weekend, literally hours before Tom Brady announced he was coming back.
See, to me, that's Brady punking that dude. Brady said, what? I'm going to sucker somebody.
Gas prices are so high, he had to come out of retirement. He couldn't afford it anymore.
I heard that too. Somebody said he gassed up his Escalade and it was $1,300. So he said, well, maybe one more season.
Crazy. I couldn't imagine being the guy who spent $518,000 on a ball that is nothing more than another game.
It's about what you want. I've talked about this before. I've spent stupid amount of money on things that I just wanted them.
Well,
So
but
for me, the money
this one's a little different though.
no, this one's a little different. I'll tell you why. Let's use a comic book example. It's as if you bought a comic that's just shot up way in value. It's graded, it's a 9.8, and it has a very critical first appearance. And then all of a sudden, they remove that first appearance from that comic. That's what you have here. He wanted Tom Brady's final touchdown football.
Well, now he'll have a chance to get another one.
Well, I'll say this:
$500,000. He set the price.
I'll say this too.
It was auctioned off at an auction company called Leland's. I know them. And the opening bid was 100. So he bid against somebody else and they bid it all the way up to over 500K.
We've all seen what McFarlane spent on baseballs.
Yes.
So,
that's true. That's true. And then only to have guys like McGuire and Sosa get caught up in the PED, steroid era, devaluing those balls right then and there. You saw it with Roger Clemens as well. It's the danger of sports collectibles, but it's also the danger in comic collectibles in a different way. If you're expecting something that's recent, you never know. And I know we've talked about this on our Alex show quite a bit.
I'm going to put in the comments, just as another sports thing, the EXP Sports Ball Bracket Challenge is live. It's free to play, and you get to be the bragger, the sportiest of the sports ballers if you win. But you can pick however you want to pick, but it's live. It's free. It's in the comments to sign up.
So Dwayne Zapane says he remembers the frenzy, the death of Superman, highly collectible. Wait a minute, he's back. That actually is a very relevant example. But that was caused, ironically enough, a lot of the crash during that era was caused by sports card trading speculators. Okay, a lot of distributors, a lot of these guys, they thought they'd found a new gold mine. Oh, look, we can pre-order this stuff. If you pre-order too much of this stuff, it's devalued by the time it's printed and shipped to the LCS.
John wants to know, do we have a color statue of this?
John, we probably do. And what I can do is, let me make a note. All right, so Deja Thoris color statue.
It's beautiful in color.
We
had it in color.
I thought we did.
Like last year, I think we had it in color.
But John, I will take a look, and if we do have one, I will get it on next week's show on Monday. All right. So let's see here.
Can we do a remark before the break?
Yeah, we can definitely.
There's one staring at me.
Oh, no, that one's been so
this one's just been staring at me since Amy put it in Slack for me to download earlier.
No, let's do that one. This was part of Joker through the years.
Can you take that off super quick?
What's that?
The picture. Oh, I was gonna say I thought the book you had on the rack was actually different than the picture. I'm sorry. My mistake.
All right, so here we go, real quick. So Joker 80th anniversary, 100-page, super spectacular #1 blank variant with cover sketch art by Ken Hazer, and he did.
It's already claimed.
Not taking it. All right, you got it, John. But this was real neat because he did several versions, and they were part of a larger set. So I managed to get my hands on a few of them.
Joker anniversary.
We've seen it. We've seen Cesar Romero's Joker. We've
Jack
seen
Nicholson's
the
Joker.
Nat Jack. He made them all look like that particular Joker. So he went through all the Jokers through the years, and it was really neat. I mean, it was really quite cool.
Well, to a certain extent, it's actually cooler than the Batman sketches, and I'll tell you why. Because you really can't see a whole lot of Batman's face. Batman through the years, he's always got a cape and cowl. It changes or whatever, but let's be honest, 4/5 of his face is covered. 2/3 of his face is covered.
Right.
The Joker isn't. And so, and they've gotten some really talented people.
I want to even say he did a Heath Schuler one. I feel like.
The one I liked that he did was the Mark Hamill Batman animated adventures one.
Oh yes, he did one of those as well.
It was very sort of Bruce Timm, very
right. I mean, at one point, I think it was the whole thing was sold as a set, and then obviously you get kind of extras due to damages and little things like that. So I was able to find a whole bunch of them. I know we've had them, the different versions of it through the years on the show, but one at a time because we had no more matching sets, unfortunately. But it's still a great piece. I mean, I love.
And before we go on a break, I just want to say this. John brought up a really good point, John Spilius, where he brought up about do we have the statue, and because it's a bronze statue tonight, do we have it in color? A lot of these statues come full color. Some of them are in black and white. Some of them are in bronze or silver, whatever. If you see a statue and you don't necessarily like the finish, like my Betty Page statues in black and white, because I always think of Betty Page in black and white from the old photos.
Right.
If somebody wanted one in color, either just put it in the comments or email Rex.
Yeah.
I mean, it never hurts to ask to go back there. I mean, if we have it, it's certainly not like we're hoarding them or hiding them or anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'll always try to take a look. Whatever people have requested.
Yeah.
Trying to get my hands on more Punisher stuff because I know we have a lot of requests for Punisher. We're going to try to get stuff that's relevant. Especially from Ken Hazer. Morbius, I asked for. Now I don't know if I'm going to get all these things. I just requested them.
Oh no, you know what? I
What?
want him to do Morbius, but instead of it being like black and white, which it always is, it should be a black variant, and he should use white ink.
Why don't you send me an email? I just cleaned out that box. I had IT clean out that box.
I'm sorry, you're unreliable. I'm just going to message Ken on Instagram.
Oh no, I'm not unreliable. I never get any of your emails. They immediately get directed
your
to
HR review on Amy's desk. It's not looking good. Man. I better teach you how to cook.
My daughter would say exactly the same thing.
The
Better
new
teach me how
show,
to cook.
Rex on the Line.
Hey, I'll be hitting those convenience stores throughout the country. Join me. Hot dogs from every state. All right, so let's see here. What do we got? Oh, we got to go to break. Let's see. Wait, John Spilios, I would really love you if you can get a Ken Hazer Punisher. John, I am working on it. I assure you I'm working on it.
Maybe we should do like a top 10 list for Ken. Like, Ken, these are the top 10 things we need you to do now, and these are the top 10 things you can do next week.
I have also requested Peacemaker and Eagly, but I'm getting the first one. I'm just saying. I'm going to be straight up. Okay, I get the first one.
You want the Peacemaker, or do you want
Dave Cerrone brings up a good point. The Teen Titans Slab has less than 300 total in the census. 3 firsts. First full appearance of Crush, Djinn, and Roundhouse. Dwayne's a pain. Captain Carrot. All right, so let's go to break. Stay with us. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
This is The Experience.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hey there, hi there, hello there. You're as welcome as can be.
Hi, I'm Nancy McCann. Welcome to Friday Night Live on The Experience.
Welcome, everybody. It's Fat Jack's Comic Crypt. Brendan, Al, Jason, hanging out. There I am. Welcome back to Kicking It with Henry, folks. I am your host, Henry Kumpa. It's great to be here with you guys.
So we are going to talk about books that are in stores this week.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Mishmash.
Hello, and welcome to the Black Comics Universe, presented by Peep Game Comics.
And you gotta love it that the first people in the minute to skim it are creators.
Up, everybody! Welcome to another Wednesday Warriors. My name is Joey Galvez, and this is my pal Ambrosia.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to Space Cadet.
Hey!
What's up?
Welcome, everyone, for another episode of I Must Ask You a Question.
Hi, everybody, welcome to Nerd News Now.
Hey, this is Rex. Welcome to Comic Collectables.
Hey, hello, all you happy people. Welcome to the Dan Wickline Show.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. This is the crazy show that we do on Thursdays called What's in the Box? What's in the Box?
Comic culture and sales.
All right, and we're back. All right, so
up?
let's see. What should we do next? All right, here's one. I don't think we've had this one before, but all right, this is also a best offer book. I missed that part. All right, Detective Comics number 1000, 2010's Greg Capullo variant by Greg Capullo, signed by Greg Capullo. So suggested retail of $69.99. It is number 12 out of 160. We have one available tonight. It is a best offer book starting at $19.40. The year that Batman first appeared. So that is available, and I think that really does take care of all of our best offer items.
That's pretty cool. Hey, I gotta ask you though, only because we didn't talk about it yesterday. Did you end up watching the Miss Marvel trailer?
I did. Yeah, I did want to talk about that. Hold on one sec. All right, Dave's in.
All good.
For Detective Comics. All right, I got you, Dave. 1940. So I did, and I know what you mean. You know, it had a very kid sort of feel to it. I'm not gonna lie, I'll probably end up watching the
It
series
had Scott
anyway.
Pilgrim energy. I loved it.
So, but I do realize that
I never even thought of it that way.
They're trying to reach a younger demographic.
Well, I think they're changing their powers a little bit too.
Oh, they absolutely did.
Yeah, I noticed that as well.
I don't think that for I hate to say this, but for fans of that character, I don't know if there's going to be any embiggen. I don't. I mean, she might do it with like an energy fist, but it's a very different story.
It is probably the antithesis of Peacemaker. You know what Peacemaker is? This is catering to an entirely younger demographic.
I think the best, most accurate description of that, as I saw it, it was Marvel's swing at Scott Pilgrim. If you watch Scott Pilgrim, people kind of like they forget about it a little. They're very heavily borrowing here.
Yeah,
and I don't have any problem with that. But
well, let's say news. Disney doesn't want old people dollars. Kids pay for the park.
Kids pay for the park. There's no interest in pop-up. Just pay.
Yeah. So, I'll watch it. We'll see how it looks. But I mean, okay, Ron, I got you, buddy. $30 on the slab. I don't know. I totally see what you're saying, but I'm probably gonna watch it.
I mean, I'm gonna watch it too. What John said before, like for fans of that character, yeah, I don't know. And I actually am quite the fan of her. I think her G. Willow Wilson did a fantastic job, and I think what's his name, Saladin Ahmed, who did Miles Morales. I think he recently did the Magnificent Miss Marvel series, and I thought that one was good too. I was a little unsure going forward with the show, mainly because I knew they were changing her powers. They weren't making her inhuman. And I just
humans are probably the worst thing Marvel's done, right? So they don't want to put that stank on anybody, man.
But it was so cool. Not the show. That show was horrible. I just mean like everything that happened to her, how she got her powers. I think that was all awesome. And the fact that
that character is amazing. I think you're right that by fundamentally changing the character, it's not just like you're changing your power set, right? You're changing probably how she got her powers.
All right.
Marvel's in a weird thing where they moved away from mutants for a while because they weren't sure what was up with Fox, and they really pushed Inhumans for several years. And then, like Marvel always does, they over-pushed the Inhumans, and then they rushed out the TV show, and people were like, "This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life."
So just so everybody knows, the Teen Titans 9.8 right now. Let's see, John Spilios is in the lead at 45. I did record Ron's at 30 and Large Man at 40, but John Spilios has come out ahead. Ron Shepard, you want to know what is the mega pack? No problem, buddy. All right. So tonight's mega pack is Batman Heroes and Villains mega set. John's favorite.
Oh boy, I'll be back when you're done.
So suggested retail of $500, and we have the one available for $299.99. And it includes Batman number 90, second printing, signed by James Tynion IV. Batman Superman number 1, signed and cover sketch art by Jay Lee. Dark Days, the casting number 1, Andy Kubert variant, signed in gold by Andy Kubert. And Batman, the Joker Warzone number 1, CGC 9.8. And Dwayne Zapane mentions the Eternals debacle. It was.
I'm surprised you don't have the Batman who laughs in here.
I couldn't find it. So Eternals was a horrible movie on a lot of levels. I think they just.
Want Amy to come in here?
I don't know.
She can come in before you start saying stuff.
But it just, I think it was the wrong director for the movie. Okay, I think that the storyline, the characters we wanted to see more of, they didn't do. The characters we really got sick of by the end of the film, they showed too much of. There was just a lot that was wrong with that. And I guess, I don't know. I guess maybe that's not a bad thing. I think they started to get to a point where they just thought that, we'll slap some superheroes together on a movie screen and it'll work.
Marvel has a certain way of doing things that people, and the funny thing is people are like, oh, Marvel movies are formulaic. Well, they're owned by Disney. Everything Disney does is formulaic. Right. And the reason they keep doing it is because they keep working. They buy their competition. They buy whatever they want. If anything, they triple their money. They pay. You're like, they'll never be able to make that money back at Star Wars. I think they made it back in like.
Well,
18 months.
I have to be honest. I mean, there has definitely been some pushback. I forget his name, the new CEO of Disney. He must have risen up the ranks from the accounting side because I'm friends with, and I'll admit it too. I'm probably one of those Disney files in terms of going to the parks and stuff.
Yeah.
And when my daughter was playing softball, we seem to always be in Florida playing a tournament, so we take advantage of having been there anyway to go to Disney. And some of these very, very faithful, they bump up the ticket prices, they turn the ticket prices seasonal. They didn't really complain, but now even these dedicated kind of like almost Disney cult members are starting to push back. They're feeling like the magic is gone, that the prices have gotten out of control. The Star Wars Starship Experience, the big hotel. Apparently, there are tons of vacancies. They're having a really hard time filling the rooms, and
they're almost at the Jurassic Park level of $10,000 a day. If
Well,
you have a
is
big
it?
family, and I think when you start to get,
Honestly, that's insane.
I mean, we wanted to go. People were paying. I was down there for the holidays, and I understand it's Christmas. Okay, so that's totally on me, right? But we had like nieces and nephews that wanted to go to the park, and I think it was, they wanted the pass, they wanted this, they wanted that. It's like $1,100 a kid. That's insane amount of money.
Yeah. It has gotten. The last time we went,
I just brought it up. It's $6,000 for 2 nights.
Yeah.
What is this? What is this hotel?
All right. So this hotel, I know you're not a huge Star Wars fan.
I gotta look it up.
But you did pick up the long box or the long box of Star Wars, the story you're telling me about yesterday.
Oh yeah.
So we know the dust has settled. He's finally moved into his new abode,
right?
Because he's cruising around these shows and picked up a great deal. But what it is it is an immersive event. So that's why you have to stay a minimum of 2 nights. Now, granted, $6,000 is ridiculous, but it does include food and all of that. And it's supposed to take, yes, Bob Chapek, you're right. He's getting major pushback. Yeah, he's in big trouble, right?
Oh, that Galactic Star Cruiser, is that what it is? Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel.
And it is a great idea. It is really a great idea.
It's a cruise on land.
But a lot of things that they've changed, like they eliminated the free fast pass, and they started with I forget the Genie line things. So everything is purchased now, and it feels. The one thing, even though Disney was raising the prices of tickets through the years, you felt like you were getting quality for your money. Okay, that they weren't just after the almighty dollar, even though we all knew that they were, but they didn't make you feel like that when you were in the park. All right, so a direct comparison I can make is Universal. All right, so one year when my daughter was down there, my daughter and I were down there, we went to Universal, and the Harry Potter stuff was banging. It was absolutely amazing.
Now I really want to see that.
Yeah, well, that part was truly unbelievable. If you are a Harry Potter fan, even if you just watch the movies, you're not really a fan, you're gonna have a great time. It's just Diagon Alley, the whole 9 yards.
I want to chime in real quick.
Yes,
we're gonna give this to somebody. So
well, we could have.
We're gonna give this to somebody.
We can have a trivia question.
What up,
All
Nick?
right. So a Virgin Knicks comic. So somebody is going to win this tonight. Kyle's going to hate me, but this is
Nick, you have to pay for me to stay 2 nights in this hotel that they're saying $6,000 a night now.
You just
I'll go with.
Is this worth it?
I'm sorry, I changed my mind. There's nothing happening.
Well, I actually had a great trivia question. We were just going to throw up for the fun of it, but now we can use this as a trivia question.
Oh, it's damaged.
All right, so here's a trivia question. All right, so John mentioned Tom's River. What is Lakehurst, New Jersey? Now, you see, the problem is everybody can Google it.
Yeah, trivia's dead.
Yeah,
is the answer just Little League Baseball?
Wait,
Tom's River, New Jersey is Little League Baseball.
That is true. Tom's River, actually, they were champions. They've got like a road sign.
For the humanity.
For what?
Oh, the humanity.
All right. So it doesn't matter. Whoever can Google fastest. What is Lakehurst, New Jersey famous for? All right. And the first person who answers correctly gets this.
Oh, Nick just gave it to me. They're not getting this one.
Whoever answers quickly will get another one untouched by John's hands. Okay. All right.
All right, now I know we're kind of off topic for what we were just talking about. I'm just looking it up right now. What?
JD Barry, you're
Yeah,
close.
JD Barry, Stevie B.
Oh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one because I got to give it to I got to be Alec. I got to be Alec Trebek. I got to give it to Stevie B because technically the Hindenburg was not a blimp. A blimp is filled with helium and no metal frame.
I'm gonna be doing this show with Amy next week.
Maybe. That's all right. I'll be hitting convenience stores throughout the country, baby. All right, but the Hindenburg was a Zeppelin, which has a metal frame. So I got to give it to. So who was it again? Was it Stevie B? I'm gonna have to give the comic
Stevie
to
B.
Stevie B. Okay, it's like it was like Wheel of Fortune the other night. It was a song, a Eurythmics song, and she got it wrong because everybody gets that line wrong. It was printed right there in front of her. I forget which one it is. And I appreciate those that did not actually. So Stevie B, yeah, there you go. All right, so Stevie B is the winner. And I appreciate those of you that answered without actually Googling. I appreciate your sense of fair play. So JD Barry says he worked in blimp hangars while mobilizing in 2004. Yeah, well, the Hindenburg pretty much killed the whole idea of the Zeppelin. And
we should be thanking him for his service.
Thank you for your service. Thank you, Alex, for your service. And his girlfriend was also in the Air Force. All right, so Stevie B is the winner. All right.
Okay, I have a little thing. I tried out for the Akron football team back when they were still good, and their football facility is adjacent to where they store the Goodyear blimp. And other than being at Disney, that building is the most Star Wars looking building I've ever seen, because it's just this colossal, big, long building that looks like a loaf of bread in the middle of a cornfield. But it looks like a monolithic Star Wars building. It's wild.
That's cool.
So, yeah, we did get a little off track. But
you know, it'll be any minute. Ronald will be like, "I would like another slab. I would like another CCA." So give him something.
So, well, let's wait until he asks.
Or I'll just put one up.
All right. So, you know what? That's a good one. We've literally, I think I've got maybe one more, and this is to give everybody else a chance because I remember when we first presented the Hyperion and the Dr. Juggernaut and Blade,
the next slab?
and Ron just immediately picked them all
funny.
up. I remember
just woke up.
So but literally we're down to like one or two of these left. I think this may be the last one for Hyperion. I'm not sure, or maybe that was Captain Harlock. I'm not really sure. But hold on, let me get.
So cool.
Let me get that one. Where is it? Here it is. All right. So New Avengers #1 signed with cover sketch art of Hyperion by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $89.99, and we have it as one of our 5-star for $50 books. All right. And then after this, we'll get to the next slab, Ron.
Hyperion's like a niche character. So somewhere out there, there's going to be like a Hyperion buyer that's watching other shows going, why don't they ever have any Hyperion stuff? Because you're watching the wrong show.
Yeah, Marvel's answer to Superman. All right. So let's see. What do we have next? We have
the slab.
The slab. All right. We have Amazing Spider-Man number 800, CGC 9.8. We have one available for $80 tonight. All right. So there we go. Let's see. Now, wow. On Alex's show yesterday, we were talking about something, and it's probably something that you can contribute to, and we were talking about the continuity and the number ones, and you know how the contents of certain stories aren't getting all the way there.
Yeah.
You know, which is happening. Okay. So John Spilios, let me see, Batman 1000. You got it, buddy. Oh, you mean Detective 1000? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right, John Spilios, you're in for what do you do? 25. Gotcha, John. So
right. I was gonna say, no, you go. I'm gonna be off topic no matter what. You
go off topic. Yeah, because this show is known for being on topic.
No, you guys put this in my head now, and I can't stop looking at these prices. This is absolutely insane.
That's gonna be
Listen,
show,
this is absolutely insane.
I gotta tell you, when I went to all the Star Wars rides last time I was there, it was phenomenal. But you're not a Star Wars fan. I am. But it was we'd gotten onto the ride. I may have told the story before. We got there, and the way that they were divvying up the line was you had to get into the park, activate the app, and then you would be put into a batch. And commonly, people that ended up with batch number 100 or higher during the course of the day, there was no guarantee you were getting on.
Oh my God.
And this is during a time when it's really you got war happening all over the place. This really reaffirmed my belief in humanity. Okay. All right. So ASM. All right, you got it, Ron. Hold on, let me write you down. So Ron is picking that up for 80. You got it, Ron.
So nice.
So we happen to be having lunch, and I have a theory because all the lunch places open at like at 11 o'clock. I think it's 11 or 11:30 on Disney properties, right? So I have a theory. It opens at 11. You have lunch at 11 because nobody's really having lunch at 11. So by the time the crowd starts to rush in to get lunch, you're done. Okay. And guess what they're not doing? They're not crowding up the popular lines, right? Because they're off eating lunch. So, and my daughter hates me because of that, because it's like a little early for lunch. But I always have a plan because I'm maximizing my dollar. Right? I don't want to spend time waiting in line. So I try to, and that's where the Fast Pass really came in. So I meet a guy that in line, we both have the same plan. We're waiting for the place to open. So we just start chatting, right? And I explained, we're there, and my daughter was supposed to play softball, but the pandemic hit, whatever. And we're, we go our separate ways. And he comes over our table and informs us that they're year-round Florida residents, so they get the annual pass and all that, and they've been on the ride multiple times. And they had gotten there early in the morning, gotten to a batch. The batch was probably gonna get called in about 30 minutes. Would we like to go with them? I'm like, wow. I'm like, sure. But I said, it's probably only 3 of you. And it turns out that his wife is one of those people. Okay. I guess I hate to say it, but I guess the most current vernacular is Karen.
No.
But this time Karen worked in my favor. Karen was on my side. So we go to the front of the park and she's talking to him, whatever, right? And I'm just thanking the husband because even if we don't get in, I didn't expect us to get in. I really appreciated Jester. He didn't know us from anybody.
Pick up his lunch?
Nice guy.
Well, we just had lunch. He didn't come over, but at Disney you pay as you go, and then you pick up your food and you sit down, right? So he didn't make the offer until after lunch. So I can see the cast member at the head of the line. She's shaking her head and she's probably heard this about a million times. All these people want to get in. So I start shaking the husband's hand, saying thank you to him. And, I really appreciate this. And, is there something we can get for her daughter or whatever? And the wife comes over and shushes us. Shush, 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 shush. Okay. She tells us, I'm not done yet. So she takes us over to one of the cast member managers who have like a little iPad and they stand under these little umbrellas. And she's and she's trying to talk to him. And he's like, no, he's heard it a million times. He's given us probably all the standard excuses. Then I figured, well, what do I got to lose at this point? So I jump in and and she's throwing a yarn. She's like, we're old friends, family friends. We haven't seen each other in years. We didn't know they were going to be in Florida. And we happened to run into them in the park. And she's just drawing this long yarn. So I'm like trying to, hop on. And I'm like, yeah, we haven't seen them. They're very close friends. And I said, we're here for softball. And it got canceled because of the pandemic. Turns out his sister played college softball. So he could sympathize. So we start chatting like that. And my daughter happened to be wearing one of her college t-shirts. Hey, Joel. We get on the ride. Okay. Better than getting on the ride. We got in the Fast Pass lane because the wife was handicapped. So we ended up not even having to wait in the line in the batch. I swear to you, the whole day after the ride, my daughter and I are grinning ear to ear because this was like a bonus because everything I heard, people were lining up at 3 o'clock in the morning at the front gates waiting to get in so they could get on the benches. Right. I told my daughter, we got to be up early. And she doesn't roll out of bed. We don't even leave the hotel until like 11. She goes, well, we might still make it. I'm like, what are you kidding me? It's 11. By the time we get in the park, it's going to be noon. It's going to be time for lunch. So I got to tell you, if you are a Star Wars fan, it was an absolute phenomenal experience. It really was.
Oh,
all right.
That's cool, though. I mean, I don't hate Star
Well,
Wars.
we can go back to talking about spam, buddy, if you like.
Elderly stories.
Or the fact that Kyle's very upset that Wawa has not branched out into the Ohio.
Well, I was just going to say, you guys got to do what I did.
What's that?
And get your brother-in-law, who was a travel agent. So he works for a company called Travelmation and is their Disney specialist.
Oh, I've heard of those. Yeah, and they plan out your entire trip, which is relevant now because they're so packed.
So we stay in the park.
Yeah, I know someone
and
who does
can get into the park before the park opens.
Yes.
So you're in line before the cast members are out of bed. and it's
yes,
pretty great.
I've heard of those. I know somebody who does it, but each time we were there, it seemed like it was very last minute. Even our last trip, we just went because I had already. Thank you, Nico. I went. We were there because we were supposed to be there for softball. Everything got canceled. I checked flights, and they were so cheap because I was going to drive because of the pandemic. And I said, listen, Airbnb is not going to refund me the money. One of our teammates' families, I was, in the Airbnb with them, and they said they were still going. I said, did you just want to go? Lars, man, we were there the last day before Disney World closed for the pandemic. And that last day, they were cutting loose all the CP, the college program kids, and they let them go through the parks for free. And it was phenomenal. I got to talk to them and learn all little hacks and stuff, and how to cut time when you're in the park and stuff. It was actually very informative. I find these last minute trips are always the best. I mean, we always have the greatest time. Let's throw that Spider-Man up, my man. You're ahead of me there. Let's do it.
Nice.
So this one is a different angle. I think we had one on Monday, but the profile was facing the other way, and there was kind of a wink to his eye. So
I remember
Amazing Spider-Man number 49, Legacy number 850, blank variant, signed and sketch cover of Spidey by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $89.99, and we have the one available tonight for $62.19.
Dave wants to see the
Dwayne's
covers before the break.
We could probably do that. What time is the break? Okay. Dwayne's a pain. That is correct. I was there just as the pandemic started and right before they closed the park completely. At this point, we didn't know anything. And
so you're saying you're patient Rex, and this is all your fault?
Maybe.
He brought it to New Jersey.
Maybe.
The patient Rex.
I got to tell you, that was the most interesting plane ride. The plane both ways was empty. And it's the only time that, at that point, we checked the bags. It was a direct flight. That was the only time in all my years of flying, my daughter and I got off the plane. We go to the baggage carousel. There aren't a lot of bags. It's just our 3 suitcases going around and around. And I'm like, this has never happened. And the bags are actually here before we can make the walk from the gate to the baggage carousel. There were pigeons on the ground in Philadelphia International. I mean, it was empty, bro. It was completely empty. It was a lot of fun. I gotta tell you, I'm glad we went before the pandemic hit and they had to close down everything. I'm really glad. All right, so let's take a look at the Virgin covers here for
that's cool
for Dave here. All right, so let's do all 3 of them real quick, and then we'll come back to it after the break. So we got Nick's number 5, Megan Hendricks Virgin cover, suggested retail of $50. We have one available for $40.
I really like her work with Nyx. We've talked about Nyx before. Nyx has come out of the gate hot, and I would like to see a lot more of her. And I don't know what Nick has planned or whatever. And the other stuff is good too, but she really seems to. These graffiti covers are so cool. She did one for Jennifer Blood.
It's an awesome cover. And we talked about Virgin covers, and without the trade dress, it's more like a piece of art. So, all right. So next up, we have Jennifer Blood, number 6, Vincenzo Federici, Virgin cover. Also suggested retail of $50, and we have one available tonight for $40. So Dwayne says, it was empty as Disney goes. I mean, there were still lines and stuff, but nowhere near what you would get like on a normal summer day. I mean, nothing like that. So it was a lot of fun. I have to admit. And we were only in and out of the park in 3 days, and we were able to pretty much finish everything that we wanted to finish. It's like I don't get on the carousel.
Wait, so if you go to Disney, you're only there usually for a few days, or do you not stay for like an entire week typically?
Well, when we were there, it was in the last several years. Well, I mean, her first trip, she was 6 months old, dude. My former in-laws, they're Disney cult members as well. So we all went when she was 6 months. She doesn't remember anything about it. She's probably been there more than I don't even know. But the last few years when she was in high school playing softball, we would be there for softball, and then you'd have almost a full week of softball, and then we tack on like 3, 4, maybe 5 days on the tail end and hit the parks because we were already there, so the flights were paid for. One time we even switched hotels to go stay at a Disney on-property hotel. There's just a lot more benefits you get if you're on site on one of their hotels. You get to park early, you can stay later, that kind of thing. So we even switch hotels, which I got to tell you, I'm not a big fan of. You know, when I travel somewhere, I hit a hotel, I've unpacked my stuff, I put them in the drawers. I don't want to pack them up and go like, 15 miles down the road to another
I feel
hotel.
you.
But it was worth it. For us, I looked at it. It was more expensive too, but it was worth it for all the benefits that we got. It was definitely worth it. She's actually the one who's last been there. She went last summer with her boyfriend and all of her friends and all that stuff. She actually went through one of those travel agents that Kyle was talking about that specialize in Disney. And things were changing because they were coming off the pandemic. So there were a lot of things you had to actually reserve your day at the park. So it became kind of complicated. So it was nice for her to have that agent do everything for them.
So I guess that was my final question, because the whole Galactic Star Cruiser thing is like 7,000-8,000, but it's only 2 days. So do people go to a different hotel, and then you have to pay for that hotel?
I guess.
I would think so.
I guess. I mean, yeah, because
Hell
that's
no.
an immersive experience.
Maybe you're gonna have to be selling some more comics, sir.
So, but I mean, I know you're not a huge Star Wars fan, so I mean, there's just little things like we got my nephew. We built him a lightsaber. So there are pieces you can build. Large man.
The building a lightsaber thing is very cool.
2 timeshares in Orlando. You're either blessed or stupid or both. That's probably the most inexpensive way. And then hey, Brandon, what's going on, buddy? The Joker cover. Did somebody pick that up or not yet?
Yeah, that one got claimed by John, I believe.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, buddy. Joker cover's been claimed, and we are at 6:58, so we got to go to our second
Ron
break.
says, please turn around the things that you've sold. You're right, Ronnie. We should be turning around the stuff we sold.
That's John's new job now. All right, so we will be back in a couple of
Nobody
minutes.
wants John to touch
go to
the
our second
comics.
break.
Hey, I'm Garrett Gunn. You might know me from Good Boy, Warhorns, Franklin and Ghost, and you're watching The Experience.
And I'm back. As I almost fell off the chair. That was great.
I saw that.
I wanted to jump in real quick while Rex stepped away. Hey, I'm going to say to you guys, as always, thank you so much for being here. You guys really make these nights, and hopefully everything we're doing to give back to you, you're happy with. We're here for you, and I just want to thank you guys. Like, you're the best, and you really make this great. Tonight, I'm kind of distracted. I was glad I could jump in with that free giveaway, and I wasn't here on Monday. Whenever I can, I will be. I'm going to go tackle some grunt work now, but I just want to say thanks.
And hey, Nick.
Yeah.
When you jump in from now on, jump in behind the rack where we can hear you because the microphone is
I
back
was
there.
just going to say, we'll have a jump-in spot for you, sir.
Thank you. I'll leave it at that. Let's try it like this. You guys make this special, so thank you.
That was louder than it was when you were closer to the camera.
I know. It's because he's closer to the mic.
I love it. Nick always likes to, when we do the original art show, Nick likes to sit on the front of the table.
I just
with the
saw
camera.
Rex put his flask away and he's stumbling in. So.
Yeah.
No, we do the original art show. Nick likes to sit on the front of the table and the microphone is behind the rack, and the whole time it sounds like he's talking through a sock.
You know what? I've got to remember to set him up better than that. Next time for Friday, I'll move the microphone to the front.
No,
So
it's just Nick. It's like if you set it in front of him, he'd try and find a way to be on the wrong side.
He doesn't like the news desk concept that I came up with, so that's why he likes to sit on the table.
It's I think it's the lack of animal protein.
Yeah, it could be that too.
Every time I see one of those sandwiches, it's like a cry for help.
What'd you do with my sheet? Oh, there it is. All right. So did you do your Man of White thing?
I think I got everything off of there.
All right, cool. All right, so
right now,
we have one last Virgin cover, right?
We have another
real
Virgin
quick
cover.
though. Stevie B was asking about the Teen Titans.
The Teen Titans book.
It's currently at 45 with John.
Yeah, John Spilios is in the lead at 45. Buddy.
And then we should probably hit this again. The Capullo signed cover. Just come back to it real quick.
That is a pretty cool
Detective
one.
Comics. Yeah, go ahead and throw that one up. So Detective Comics number 1000, 2010s. Greg Capullo variant by Greg Capullo, signed by Greg Capullo. Suggested retail of $69.99. It is a best offer book, and John Spilios is in the lead at 25. So that is still available.
And I'll tell you also something I'll throw out here.
What's that?
Even people might think it's pricey or whatever. The Reanimator book, based on the success of the Lovecraft stuff on HBO, I would not be surprised. And I don't like to say this because people think like or nothing cracks me up more than like a claim show or podcast that has sources. That always cracks me up. But I would not be surprised if there is going to be some sort of Reanimator show, maybe on HBO Max,
right?
Because they did the other sort of Lovecraft thing. So at $199, a 9.9 is a nice sort of, by summer this thing will be $350. They decide to announce that for the schedule next year. It'll probably be closer to $400, and to pick that up at $199, that's nice.
That is Lars Man is correct. Lars Man is actually in the lead on the statue, Ron, at 75. Let's see, Nico.
We have 2 Teen Titan books, right?
Hold on, Nico. Hold on, let me see. Nico is at 26 for Detective Comics. Greg Capullo, gotcha. So Nico is at 26. All right. So, yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, Alec.
And just real quick before we move on, Stevie B was asking about the Robin.
Yes, that one, the Robin?
The Robin book, the Williamson.
Okay, yes, that is best offer starting at 15. So let me see.
He's in on that at 15.
Gotcha. I'm sorry.
I was confused as well. I got you though, Steve.
Yep, gotcha, Stevie B. All right, so you are at 15.
I'm only confused as to why the Capullo thing is still up there. Is the mic not on?
Testing. No, they just mute it when you talk.
I would totally believe that.
No, I like what John said earlier. I think it's really funny, especially when I watch YouTube videos where people say that. It's like, oh yeah, my sources tell me this. I got these sources. Man, who are your sources? People ask that too. It's like, who is it? Oh, I can't discuss that. I can't disclose. All right.
It's in everything I love. The food industry, the comic book industry, professional wrestling. Everything I like, somebody has a podcast. And I mean, I did podcasts and radio for like 10 years, so I get it. But nobody thinks you actually have sources. They're polite and they're playing along, or it's wishful thinking.
Right.
Or you just have your sources be right enough that they believe you have sources.
That too.
My sources inside Major League Baseball are right enough that people believe my sources in Major League Baseball still exist, which they do. My sources in comic books are right often enough that they work. But if I say I have sources in professional wrestling, it's just some wrestler lying to me.
Yeah, it's just some guy. Wouldn't our source be Rex? Right? Nick?
What?
I said our source should be Nick. Have him come back in here.
You're my source. What are you talking about? All right, you know what? Let's get that last Dynamite Virgin
real
cover
quick,
up there.
Scott Hall did pass away.
The Invincible
Razor Ramon.
John
Spilios mentioned it.
the Invincible Red Sonja 38.
You don't care about
FOC.
Scott Hall, or do you?
Well, we'll get to that in a second. Let me get this book. He's got it up. FOC Moratet Virgin cover. We have suggested retail of 50. We have one available for 40. So, all right, continue what you were saying.
Oh, you don't care? You just trying to hawk merchandise when the man passed away.
Well, so one of my sources inside professional wrestling for years was Scott Hall. He's a good friend of mine. I staffed his table at comic book conventions for years. So it's been kind of a rough week.
It's not great. I mean, it's not great. There's no sort of, everybody is sad about it. For multiple generations of people, that guy was sort of like a big, that guy was a big part of the birth of the modern day. I'm old enough to remember wrestling. People still in the audience believed it was real. I mean, a lot of them still believed it was real when I was a little kid.
Wait, it's not real? He was only 63.
He was only 63. He kind of had, he had a great career. He had some personal issues. He kind of bounced back from those.
Well, we've lost a lot of people this week. I mean, William Hurt, we were talking about.
Yeah, William Hurt passed it. This hasn't been, like a terrific, this hasn't been a terrific week if you're kind of like the celebrity passings thing. Not great.
So I'll tell a Scott Hall story if you want, and John, you'll appreciate this. We were doing a convention in Michigan, and I'm staffing Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. Now I'm 6'2", 300 pounds, and I'm smaller than these guys by a lot.
They're big boys.
But also at this convention were Booker T from WWE and Ryan Hurst and his stunt double Jay Adams. From Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy.
Right. We all got to be friends because we were all kind of stuck together at the convention. And there were a couple of other wrestlers in town because they had an event the next night. So we all decided to go to dinner, and we go to this all-you-can-eat hibachi place.
Oh, man.
And the combined weight must have been about 1.5 tons. Walking into this all-you-can-eat crab legs for $20 plus hibachi.
Oh, man.
And we walk in, and this woman who's seating us says something in what I assume is Mandarin, but I recognize "oh shit" in any language because they knew their profits were gone. That was one of my favorite Scott Hall moments.
That's a great story. I mean, I certainly hope, you know what I mean? You always try to think of a good way to put it, like sometimes people on social media, they're trying to express themselves. They don't do it quite right, and somebody will be like, oh, hey, buy this Scott Hall shirt. I think sometimes it's okay. I mean, I'm a big fan of moving merch. I've done tons of marketing in my life for clients, but I think sometimes it's okay to just sort of put your best thoughts out there, or like Kyle just did, share a funny story with people that maybe, other people don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's no positivity to that guy passing, but at least you can sort of, you know what I mean? Try to put some positive energy out there from before the event.
I've told the story on the air a couple times. We're at a different convention, and we're in the restroom, because it's a break at the convention, and there's a whole bunch of us in there, and Scott finishes and goes, "Time for a dark match, boys," turns the light off in the men's John while everybody's in the middle of doing their work and walks out.
Yikes.
It was like he loved to play pranks like that on people just to make it awkward. So
yeah, I mean that's a guy that's going to be missed. I mean, the guy, multiple generations loved him, worked with him, fan generate. It's hard. It's really, really hard.
All right, where Rupenstein, I got you down, buddy.
85 for the statue.
Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like in this last couple of years during the pandemic, I don't know if it's more. I just been paying attention to this.
I think that's part of it too. I think
that I wasn't a past. I mean, granted, a lot of people died from COVID, but it just. I don't know if I was just at home a lot, so you'd be watching.
Doom scrolling, right? Like you're there used to be people out in the middle of the night, they'd be on Twitter or whatever, Facebook, and they'd be scrolling just because they couldn't sleep or they were super excited or they were looking to see the next meme or whatever. But now it's like, I'm waiting to see what the new variant virus is that turns people into apes, or I'm waiting to see when the zombie apocalypse comes, or if it's going to be World War III, or is a meteor going to hit the earth. And then people are wondering why they can't get back to sleep.
Yeah.
Well, there's also something to the fact that, we're getting like, and it's happening to me a little slower maybe than it's happening to other people because of, Alec and I are younger, but we're getting to that age where people are starting to die that we feel like we've known our whole lives.
Oh, dude, you're in the slow lane. Wait until you get to our age.
Because they're getting to that age where it's, they've lived a good long life. Betty White's a great example. Like, it hits harder because Betty White, has been around forever, but also Betty White was 100 years old. Like,
yeah, that's it.
So
yeah,
I get real attached after 100 years.
Right.
It's like 6 generations of people that love her.
No, I get what you're saying. I mean, but when you look at guys like Scott Hall and you look at William Hurt, I mean, they were young. So John Spilios, wait until you hit 50. That's for sure.
Like 50 hits you.
When you get to that age, you're looking at people that are passing, and it may seem older if you're of a younger generation, but to us, it seems, wow, that's close. I can see that age from here. Without having to stand on the hill anymore. So that kind of hits you a little bit. It's part of, William Hurt. I think we were talking about the other day, Altered States, all the movies he's been in, the horrible Dune miniseries that was on TV.
Lost in Space
with Joey. Okay, Joey Tribbiani with a ray gun. I mean, my gosh, boy, somebody lost their job at the casting director's office that day. Yes, Kyle, we'll do a quick recap in the order of the spreadsheet. So we started off, as always, Dynamite 10-pack reader set, 10 random Dynamite titles, $3.99 cover price or higher. So suggested retail of $40. And we have it, as always, for $5, 50 cents a copy. Then we did a best offer book, which was Robin number 3, signed by Joshua Williamson. Our friend Stevie B is in the lead at 15. Then we did Detective Comics number 1000, 2010's Greg Capullo variant, signed by Greg Capullo and signed by Greg Capullo. Suggested retail of $69.99. Currently, Nico is in the lead at 26. Let's see. The Joker 80th anniversary was claimed by John Spilios. We still have Amazing Spider-Man number 49, Legacy number 850, blank variant signed and sketch cover of Spidey by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $89.99. We have one available for $62.19. Then we had New Avengers number 1, signed with cover sketch art of Hyperion by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $89.99. It is one of our 5-star books for $50. And let's see that the ASM CGC 9.8 was claimed by Ron. We have the Teen Titans number 20 CGC graded variant cover. CGC graded guarantee 9.8, suggested retail of $89.99. Currently, we have, John Spilios in the lead at 45. Then we did the Reanimator, The Eternal Lie, and this is a CGC 9.9. All right, John Spilios, 27 on Detective 1000. You got it, buddy. Let me find it. All right, so John Spilios is up to 27.
See, they're doing the bids this way too. It's for Detective Comics 27.
Thank you for confusing us.
Joel, I feel like I'm in my 60s. I hear that, man.
So Reanimator 9.9 suggested retail of $299.99. We have one available for $199.99. Then the World of Dynamite, Deja Thoris, J. Scott Campbell inspired diorama bronze edition. Best offer book, suggested retail $299.99. Currently, where Rupenstein is in the lead at 85. Then we did the Knicks number 5, Megan Hendricks Virgin cover, suggested retail of $50, and we have one for $40. So Nico is
46.
All right, hold on, 46. Gotcha, Nico. So Nico's at 46 on that. All right. And where did I leave off? Oh, and then we had Jennifer Blood number 6, Vincenzo Federici Virgin cover, suggested retail of $50. We have one available for $40. John says
John, you're a child, man. I am 56.
I am 56 as well.
We are old. There should be younger people doing this.
But John, 51, you ain't young. I hate
I'm
to break it to
34
you.
with the skeletal structure of a 75-year-old.
Wait, say what?
I'm 34, but my skeletal structure is 75.
Get that man a Wawa.
These younger
Quick.
guys are like, why would they die and just
Get him a
let them
Wawa
go?
stat.
Dude, I'm going to the doctor tomorrow to find out how to take the arthritis out of my back. Like, that's an old man problem.
Spam. Spam will do it.
Spam. That's the answer. That's it.
I'll tell you what
It's
helped
like-
my back quite a bit was when my family was running around in Disney having a fabulous time and posting photos on Instagram. I sat at the bar in Raglan Road and waited.
Let me tell you. I'll get to that in a second. I'll get to that in a second. Oh, the bar thing is a great thing. So, Invincible Red Sonja 38, FOC Moritat Virgin cover, suggested retail of 50, and we have one at 40. And then finally, we had Batman Heroes and Villains Mega Set, $500 suggested retail. We have for $299.99, and that includes Batman number 90, second printing, signed by James Tynion IV, Batman and Superman number 1, signed and remarked by Jay Lee. Dark Days, the casting number 1, Andy Kubert variant, signed in gold by Andy Kubert, and Batman, the Joker Warzone number 1, CGC graded, guaranteed 9.8.
That Jay Lee cover looks literally like it's a sketch off his book.
So I have the greatest luck when my daughter and I go to Disney. So another time we stayed on property, right? And my daughter had tons of homework because we were taking like school days, but because college softball at that time, if she was going to a showcase, we could claim it was a college visit. So she was already a junior in high school. So she was doing homework, so I wanted to leave her alone. So I go down to the hotel bar, and I have a couple of beers. And at that time, the biggest ride, Star Wars thing hadn't opened yet, but the biggest thing at that time was the Avatar ride. Okay, and if you are a fan of the movie Avatar, this ride was the flight of the I forget, but it's one of those dragons that they fly in the movie, and it was the hottest, greatest thing. Okay, Lars Man, the TT 9.8, you're at 50. Let me find that. All right, so let's see. Lars Man's at 50 on that. Gotcha, Lars Man. So it was one of the hot rides, and they hadn't done the thing with the Star Wars thing with the batches, right? The virtual line. So I went, yes, Adrian, it was a fabulous ride, man. It was so cool. And I go to the bar, and I'm everybody may have noticed, I'll just randomly talk to strangers. My daughter absolutely despises when I do that. I'll do it at an airport, on a plane, in line at Disney, and she can't stand it. Okay, until it got us on that Star Wars ride. Okay, then I said, you're never allowed to talk to Dad about that ever again. It got your lazy butt onto that Star Wars ride. So, we could get to the park early because we were staying at one of the Disney hotels. So I started talking to him. I said, we're going to probably get here by such and such time. He goes, dude, if you get there by such and such time, you're never going to make it. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, look, you got to beat the buses out of the hotel. So I had a rental car. So he's giving me all this info. He's like, look, the buses start taking off from this place at such and such time. And then the earliest is another hotel, and they they leave at such and such time. So you got to beat them there. Typical fashion, my daughter gets up a little bit later than planned. We get there, and there is a massive line already to get into the park. It's Animal Kingdom. And finally, they open it. And they don't have the whole park open, just certain rides. So we're following this crowd of people. And there's this poor guy there, cast member. He's got a little sign, okay, that says line starts here. And I think he must have been freaked out by the mass of people that were rushing towards him to get to the line starts here thing. He starts moving around. I wish I was in a helicopter to see that from the sky, because it had to be this one guy with the sign and just masses of people moving as he was moving, whatever. But we got on a ride. It was awesome. We actually missed a fast pass reservation for the safari to go back on this line. And I think the wait time was something ridiculous, 130 minutes. Jesus. And my daughter knows that Dad does not wait in a line that goes to triple digits. This one we waited for, and we just missed our reservation for the safari, but it was worth it. Totally worth it to wait in line for that. And the second time we went, because we had to wait in the normal line, it wasn't like the first time. We got to see all the stuff. That's the really great thing about Disney rides, is they incorporate stuff while you're waiting, while you're queuing up. And we missed all that stuff because the way it was going when we were the first, they were just running us through the line, and there's a lot of it. So you didn't get a chance to stop and look at all the stuff. But if you were a fan of Avatar, that was a phenomenal ride. That was just, it was the best ride for me and my daughter in Disney until they came out with Star Wars ride. Then it got bumped to number 2. But still, the last trip, we made sure we hit that at least twice. It's totally worth it. But let's see. All right. John Spillers had to jump once. Negan got in on the action. So, and they don't serve spam at the park. So that's the only downside.
For now.
You can't get a spam sandwich. But yeah, listen, it's definitely, for me and my daughter, it's definitely worth going. The restaurant in Epcot with the glamorous aquarium is better than decent. Lars, man, I would agree with that. And actually, my daughter had a fantastic idea one year we were there recently, just within her high school career. They have this food and wine festival that doesn't run all the time. And we literally ate around the country. It was her idea. So they had all these like pop-up stands with food and stuff. You know what I'm talking about.
I've been there. Yeah. I've been there a couple times.
But the funny thing was, the first place we went to, and I figured I was going to be drinking through the countries. And I look at the beer price and they seem very reasonable, right? And I'm looking, and they hand me this little glass, right? So by the time we get to England, I tell my daughter, I said, we got to go to the pub in England. She goes, why? I said, because Daddy needs a big boy beer. I can't be drinking these little beer. Yeah, it's not gonna work yet. So John Spilius goes, hey, AR, are you hungry yet? Did you eat?
I am absolutely starving.
That was a lot of fun. I mean, just eating. We stopped at every country that had one of the pop-up stands, and we just bought a little something to eat and just kind of ate our way around.
It's the story of my life.
So real quick, before the last break. Before our last break, and we get into we're having a run downhill to the end of the show, we have one CCA we've never shown.
Which one?
I've been looking at it the whole time.
Oh, yes. I know which one you mean. Let's do that one. Let's see. Okay. It is Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventure #1, signed with sketch cover art by Ken Hazer. Like we said, man, he can switch to any kind of style. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that. I mean, it's almost like polymathic style. He can, he's done grim and gritty. He's done this. He's done that. He's done flashy stuff. Right. This is almost a little bit of.
This is like the Archie Turtles.
Yeah, this is almost. He does Archie.
All right.
He channels what he needs to channel to get to work done. JD Berry wants.
All right, JD Berry, and it is $19.84. Just so you know. All right, JD Berry's claimed that one. That one is gone. Yeah, hoping to get new stuff from Ken very, very soon. So trying to direct some of the stuff we've gotten requests for, like Punisher, things of that nature. And obviously what's hot, like Peacemaker. I definitely want to see that. I saw some samples that he did of Vigilante. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, he posted something on Instagram. It was very and I tell people this all the time. If you're a fan of any of the creators, particularly Ken Hazer, go find him on Instagram, man. He throws a lot of stuff up there. Sometimes he'll do these cool videos where he's showing you the process, how, he'll say that this is where I want to get, this is where I'm at, and this is how I'm going to get there. And it's just, especially for longtime fans of comics, it's very cool to see.
No, it is. Absolutely. Let's see. John Spilios. Moon Knight 2. Yes, I did make a request for Moon Knight as well, my friend. I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm just saying I made the request.
See, that's another one that needs to be done on a black blank variant with like silver. This is Moon Knight.
Well, you won't have to send me an email. You can just contact Ken.
Yeah, I just contact Ken now. Cutting out the middleman. Just bill Nick for whatever I ask you to draw.
Nick will see this bill. $1 million.
Bill, what?
Hey, so I
just to pay John.
He'll go
come in here and do
Jameson in there. Parker.
Oh my gosh.
I forgot to ask you guys, or is Dynamite Dynamic Forces going to have anything at Philly Fan Expo by any chance? I forget if I asked you.
Yeah, I don't think you asked us. I don't think that we will be. Basically, once the pandemic hit, we kind of, as company policy, we pulled back from doing any cons. And getting back up to doing them, especially when you got this many moving parts, it's not like we're a single dealer.
Oh,
You got to get a lot of people involved and a lot of stuff done. So we have not actually started that planning stage. I imagine that we're going to be going back to cons at some point. But again, that's not a department that I'm really attached to. So they may have already started talking about it. I don't know. But no, I don't believe we have any cons that I know of that we're planning to go to yet.
Start the paperwork. We go to San Diego. I'll pick up the dinner tab at Lou and Mickey's.
Why would I believe that? There's no taco truck out there. Why would I believe that?
Did I not bring you dinner today?
You did. Actually, you did. It was a John Cole special. And I looked up a bakery not too far away from the office. Well, not too far away from my house either. And if you look, it's Bellagio's Bakery.
Oh, it's their bread, by the way.
Yeah.
That bread,
Oh, really?
I hooked that bakery
They
up. With
actually have a sandwich. It is called the John Cole. Okay,
Really?
but from what I hear, they're going to fix that up. But it really is, and it looked
They had
like
a John Cole pizza for a while too.
What's
and
that?
Then they had a John Cole pizza for a while, but then they got a real pizza oven, so now they're kind of redoing their.
I got you. So this particular sandwich looked like it was breaded chicken with long hots.
Chicken cutlet with sausage stuffed long hot.
That's right. It was sausage stuff. Didn't show up in the picture. It looked really good. But my fear is it'll talk a lot. But yeah, so he's not joking, man. He actually has sandwiches named after him. Okay. Like that deli in New York.
It's one of those things where I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'm aware that for years I had like a food radio show and people wanted to get on the show. That didn't bother me. Whenever somebody put my name on anything, I just always wanted to make sure they sold and make money.
Right.
Like it didn't have to be, like if I like liverwurst, you don't have to make it be a liverwurst sandwich. Put my name on something that you're going to move a lot of.
Strangely enough,
chicken
I
cutlet moves a lot here.
absolutely love liverwurst, and that was probably because my mom loved it, and I got my daughter hooked too. Strangely enough, so 3 generations. I love it.
Things I've
with
ever
some
done
onions.
with food is a thick cut of par frozen and thick cut liverwurst, and then breaded it and deep fried it real fast and put it on like a salad.
Ooh, that's very interesting. I never even thought
of
of
it. It's what people do. They do it with foie gras or whatever. And foie is super expensive.
Yeah, it is.
Not everybody likes it.
I just eat it in a sandwich. I don't even fry it a lot of times. I'll just eat it with some raw onions on it, mustard, bang. All right, so we have to go to our last and final break of the night, and so we'll be back in a couple minutes. Stay with us.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com to find a store near you.
All right, so we're back. So Stevie B has an actual relevant question. So Stevie B's question is about comic collecting supplies, bags, boards, and boxes. Are the current prices and shortages related to supply chain issues? Can't find supply of boxes and definitely not cheap. From our standpoint, obviously, as a company, we buy a lot of bags, boards, varying sizes, Silver Age, modern, long boxes. I know one of the things we've been having problems obtaining is actually the short boxes. But yes, it has been a supply chain issue on the supplies. Most of the stuff is obviously made in China, and then you had the big LA port backups where ships are just sitting there waiting to dock and get unloaded.
I was peeking around looking for the full color statue for DJ Torres.
You'll never find it. Marcus says Mylar shortage. So what you're looking at, and that's been going on for a while, and obviously now you have war in Ukraine, further disrupting the supply chain. It's very difficult. It's not even manufactured. It's not even distributors on this side. It's all this stuff is generally manufactured overseas, and whenever the supply chain of ships that come in, containers of stuff gets disrupted, almost everything that we do gets disrupted. Unfortunately, we don't make a lot here, not anymore. 62 Lefty says he's hungry and the corned beef brisket just finished cooking all day, making Reubens. Yes, I love Reubens. Man. Oh my gosh, nice rye bread. I love Reubens.
I was thinking more of a Reuben cheesesteak.
Oh, that sounds good too. So Stevie B, you're just feeling the effects that everybody else is feeling, unfortunately.
I'll tell you, I saw a very cool project though. Somebody talking about this a little bit on Facebook. They can't get long boxes, they can't get this, they can't get that. And I realize that people don't have all the time that people who do these Facebook channels do or whatever, but they were building their own long boxes out of like MDF, which is a fairly reasonably priced construction material that's made here.
Right.
I mean, it's also made abroad, but it's one of the things that hasn't become super scarce. Everybody liked bamboo, right? Well, bamboo was coming from Southeast Asia, along with a zillion other things sitting in a port not loaded, right? I think one of the big MDF plants is like Western Pennsylvania. So this guy who is outside of Pittsburgh, it's him and his buddy, they made long boxes. They took a long box that they had and they kind of did the dimensions and they were like, we don't want to do this. These guys were like comic book collectors. They're like, we don't want to do this. But we can't find long boxes.
Car.
Oh, Miss Ellie.
Pretty much, yeah. They were too quiet for too long.
All right, so let's get.
I'm just saying that's an option.
Yeah.
If people have books and they're like, I don't want to use banker boxes, or I want that size, right? There are a lot of people that won't put their books in anything that's not a long box or short box, right? There are videos out there on YouTube, on Facebook. You can, get the search engine. People are making their own long boxes. They're making their own short boxes out of a variety of materials, from your big box, hardware store, from your craft store. There's options out there. You just have to get real
Stevie B found one. We'll just keep them in those empty liquor boxes.
I mean, that's fine too. For people that aren't quite so, particular, and there's nothing wrong with using whatever, like a good store.
Yeah, that's very green too, Stevie B. I like that.
Yeah.
Reusing the boxes. Pull out your bottle of bourbon, stick a comic in there. All right, so we have Paper Girls #1, signed by Cliff Chang. Suggested retail of $39.99. Number 23 out of 25. We have one available tonight for $19.88.
And I feel this was something they announced had been picked up too. I don't know if it was for Showtime or Hulu. I don't remember. But I felt like I saw that kind of go past the scroll one day, that was in development for something. It's great. It's, Paper Girls sort of has that,
So yeah, I was going to say Paper Girls is an Amazon pickup.
Okay.
Amazon picked that one up. It's been in development for a little while now. Every time I hear a rumor about it's, progressing in film, I really don't believe it at this point, but
that's sources, and sources have told me.
Yeah, my sources told me that it was in development.
His source is Miss Ellie.
Yeah.
So where Rubenstein brings up a good point that all of his banker boxes seems to make sense because they're probably shipping as well to this country, the banker boxes, because it made it corrugated cardboard.
Yeah.
So that's going to be hard to pick up after a while as well. So, it's all tied in the supply chain problem.
Somebody added me in a Facebook group about this too. They wanted to know if we had, as a collectibles company, if we had any really good sort of alternatives. And I was like, you have to get creative because what you're looking for is another source of long boxes that we don't have. Banker boxes, there's a bunch of stuff out there that works really, really well. It's just, it depends on what you have to sort of. Ron wants Paper Girls.
Paper Girls is $19.88, Ron. So I'm going to put you down, buddy. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, that's the problem is that I guess other corrugated boxes have the same problem. Let's see. Where Rubenstein says my boxes are proper comic boxes, just square size.
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah. Again, hopefully the supply chain issue is going to loosen up here soon. I don't know. I mean, it's been a weird 3 years, and now to cap it all off with what's going on in Ukraine, it's been interesting. That's for sure. Interesting and painful all at the same time.
I tell everybody when people, I say this all the time, you're going to have to get to be more flexible. You can't be inflexible because we don't live in that kind of world.
I think it's funny, circling back to the whole Disney thing, being there the day before they closed, I remember standing in line and feeling like, wow, because at that point we knew they were closing that Monday. It'd been in all the news and stuff. And I'm thinking, man, am I really, me and everybody in this park, are we really going to be the last people here for a long time? It was so uncertain back then. Yeah.
I had that experience at the diner. I think it's 2 years ago to the day today. I was sitting at the Vincent Down Diner, a pretty well-known diner in South Jersey. And that was it. They were just like, people were leaving and they were closing the place up. And I wasn't super late. I run in there sometimes for a late supper about like 8:30. And they were like, yeah, we're closing at 10 and we're opening.
Who knows when.
And they were closed for months. Our family is friends with the family and the owners. And they were like, we have people that had never had vacations like this before. Literally, he's like, we have some of the older folks that run the restaurant. They've never taken this like more than 2-3 days off in their life. And they were closed for, I think, 7 months before Jersey sort of said, well, okay, diners can open, but it has to be this way. And, like you had to order online and then run into the parking lot and they brought your food out.
Right.
But I remember sitting there looking around and I'd never been in a diner before where like all the lights are going off. You know what I mean? They're covering stuff with plastic. It's almost, it was a weird feeling.
I mean, there are a lot of restaurants in our area that have not returned to in-person dining.
They're doing takeout.
They're just doing takeout. So I expect more of those ghost kitchens they talk about to keep popping up. I hope people return, but I think there's a lack. I mean, a handful of times now I've been back to a restaurant. Really, it just. I don't know. Actually dine in.
They don't have a vibe because everything. It's really kind of weird. Someone has a mask on. Someone doesn't have a mask on. People are not comfortable.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean. All those like.
I've eaten a ton of takeout, no doubt. I've hit almost every joint in Mount Laurel, and then John added a few to the list. So I've been hitting just about everybody.
Kyle mentioned a very cool thing about you can eat buffets, right?
Yeah,
hibachi, steak, all you can eat buffet. See, those places disappeared overnight in this part of the country because it requires you to be there. Yes. And it's everybody knows I'm a big guy. Most of my friends are big guys. Everybody knows, like the fat guy fiesta is to go to one of these all you can eat so much their eyes bug out while you're pounding down like a third prime rib. And that was just, that was all.
I got to admit, I have not returned to a all you can eat buffet style restaurant, mainly because it probably isn't real logical. But I'm thinking all these different people are breathing all over the food. I don't know about
it's this. It's just a comfort level.
Yeah, I just, so I haven't returned to them. I used to love them. I remember going to one in California. I think it was in the Bay Area. Oh, this was like high class. It was a seafood buffet thing. And then every person bought one. You got a ticket for one lobster tail. They weren't going to make lobster tails, all you can eat. But I mean, stone crab, king crab, snow crab, anything. If you were a seafood lover, they had anything you could think of. That was fantastic. It was really expensive. I remember that.
Large Man asked about.
Let's take a look. Yes, we do have one. We'll do that one next, buddy. So we have Amazing Spider-Man #1, Quan Chang exclusive cover, dual signed by Jerome Opeña and Olivier Copel. Suggested retail of $89.99. We have one available for $49.99. And then we have another one here as well. And yes, there are actually two large, man. So this is the first one, dual signed, one in gold and one in black. I don't know whose signature is whose actually. But that is available tonight for $49.99.
I kind of like the dual signature thing. That's very cool. I think Lars Man wants it.
Okay, you got a Lars Man. All right, so Lars Man is in. All right, and then we'll go to our next Spidey. Amazing Spider-Man number 1.2, signed by Alex Ross in gold. This we have, and it is number 2 out of 10.
You think everything he signs is in gold? That's just the pen?
Maybe. Or does everything you sign become gold?
There's that too.
We have one available for $189.99 tonight. Let's see. I just want to make sure Lars Man.
Spider-Man fans, your moment is here. Look.
I think that covers all the Spider-Man for the evening.
That's a cool cover.
Yeah, I mean that's a really cool cover, man.
Alex Ross, man's a genius.
I can't.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. I mean,
if you've ever seen some of the videos he posts, he's so matter of fact about, oh yeah, so I just take this new approach or whatever. I'm like, dude, you just take this new approach.
When you have the gift, you have the gift. When you don't have the gift, you don't have the gift.
They should release crypto just based on his work. That's the value. That's what it's sitting in.
So it's crazy. Lars Man says he signs everything with a paintbrush. It seems like that.
That's
but that is
why
actually gold paint pen. But again, I mean, even his signature is cool. My signature, not so
talked
much.
about this before. Some creators, not to be disrespectful, I don't know what their signature. They're just, I can't.
They sound like doctors.
Yeah, they're like doctors. And then there's a few that you look and the Alex Ross signature is almost like the John Hancock signature on stuff. Now.
Lars Man, according to my sources.
Sources is going to become the new punchline.
Oh man! All right. So next up, we've got let's see, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 50 foil variant, signed by Ryan Parrott. Suggested retail of $39.99. We have one available for $29.99. Number 45 out of 93. And we have that one available tonight as well. And
That's a cool cover.
It looks a little dark when we scanned it, but the picture really doesn't do very much justice. The foil really has this kind of reflection. The colors really jump out at you. But that is available tonight. We have one for $29.99. So Alec, circling back, if you get an opportunity to go, I would go. Disney World, Universal, work them both in. Okay, you'll have different opinions. You could probably do something for your YouTube channel as well.
I was gonna say I'm not paying for that. No,
dude. I'll be honest with you. I'm waiting for the price to come down because, like everything else, once the first initial fans hit something, the price usually comes down. But I am totally doing it, dude. I am totally doing it. There was nothing more fun than making a lightsaber for my nephew. Yes, I actually gave it to my nephew.
That's cool.
What do you mean?
Keep that.
No. I felt some middle-aged guys there with a bunch of 8-year-olds constructing a lightsaber. I had to look over and it's for my nephew. Okay. I mean, come on, man.
You know what? It looked like a lot of fun. My wife videotaped some of it. I am very much like the remote uncle. I will happily pay for your admission ticket. Don't make me go in.
Dude, we would walk. I think the pivotal moment was because, as I said, her first time there, she was 6 months. And oh my God, it was like we were summiting Everest. And then I had the in-laws. They had to bring everything, including baby food. Oh. I'm like, we're going to Orlando. We're not going to like the heart of Africa. They have baby food in Orlando.
They're going on safari and like there's like a Walmart a mile and a half from Disney
and it's worse than that,
You'll
right?
be okay.
No, it's worse than that. They wouldn't let us check it in. So it was all carry-on. Okay, I felt like a Sherpa. Okay, I'm carrying all this crap. And it made no sense to me. They have supermarkets in Florida. I've been to them. And they have baby food. We don't need to cart all this. Okay. Then I wanted to check it in. Okay. And they wouldn't let me check it in because it'll break. Then I said, I'll tell you what. I'll take all the baby food to my office. I will pack it in bubble wrap and whatever. I will ship it UPS to our hotel. It'll be there waiting for us. Well, aren't those cargo planes not pressurized? And it was like this losing battle, right? So we get there. So they got all this crap. And of course, we can't rent a stroller because, we got to take our own stroller. So I'm wrestling this thing onto the tram from the parking lot. Finally get in there. It starts to rain.
Of course.
Okay? Grandma pulls out this big plastic thing, okay, puts it over, okay, the stroller and looks at me with her hands on her hips going, see? And I'm like, see what? That thing folds up to about this big, and you made me cart all these bottles of baby food from Philadelphia International. What, are you kidding me? And you're like, see?
Jen wants to know if AR got a haircut.
AR, did you get a haircut?
No.
He did not. But I think prior to his move to Pennsylvania, he wore a hat a lot. I have not seen the hat very often since you've made the move, since you've returned to become a Pennsylvania.
No, that's because I needed a haircut extremely bad, so I just wore hats for a while.
Ah, I got you.
I was waiting until I was growing it out. To be honest, the whole I kept growing it out for a long time because I was trying to hit that length where you could donate it, and
Wish I could do that.
Oh, that's
I couldn't do it. I couldn't
Wish I could do that.
I try it out.
Interested in
Try it out.
hair donation.
I be that person where they reject your donation. Sir, yeah, we really can't turn this into a wig.
Take this fuzz out of here.
Is that cat hair?
Cat hair.
All right, let's see. I think we got two more books to go. All right, so next one is Nightwing number 13, signed by Tom DeFalco. Suggested retail $49.99. We have one available for $39.99. It is number 3 of 10. So, yeah, so the pivotal moment in my daughter's multiple travels to Disney. We went to Disneyland. We were in California to visit family. And she was about 8, I want to say. And that was like one of those epiphany moments because we could go to the park and I didn't look like a Sherpa trying to summit Everest. All right. I had a backpack. I had, my wallet and stuff. She had like a little backpack. Didn't carry much in it. A couple of sweatshirts, and we were just running through the park. That was like a liberating moment. All of a sudden I didn't have a stroller and, bottles of baby food and all this other gear. And I didn't have my in-laws and my ex-wife because we were divorced at that time, which really raised the fun level. But I remember that was probably one of the best times we had. And we were only there for 2 days, but Disney Land and California Adventure, you don't really need more than 2 days. And because the entrances are so close, you can just run across.
What I want to throw out there real quick?
That was the best time. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I just want to throw this out there real quick because it is New Comic Book Day, and I get this question from mostly on Twitter every week. Yeah, with comic book shops, some are open, some are closed, some are now coming back. We always like to, kind of urge people to go support your local comic book shop, that sort of thing for sure. That's not realistic for everyone. Almost everyone on the channel, almost everyone on the experience is a retailer, dealer at some level, right? So yeah, I mean, just kind of cruise through the channels. If you're looking for something, somebody's going to have what you want. They'll shoot you a link to their website, send them an email or whatever. I realize that, yeah, everybody in the perfect world wants to live a block from the comic book store, shoot on down there, and have it be like Comic Book Men on AMC. That's not, that's not real. That's not how it works. These stores,
you can make it work.
What?
Or Big
you can
Bang
make it work.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not like that. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah, in a perfect world, every small town would have a comic book shop.
Well, I think.
And you guys have seen the documentary podcast thing that they did behind the fake counter, right?
Yeah,
I didn't.
It's about how Comic Book Men was mostly fake.
Oh, that sucks.
How Comic Book Men was mostly what?
Fake.
What is Comic Book Men to begin with?
The show that took place at Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash.
Yeah.
It was set up largely the same way that Pawn Stars is set up, where everything goes through a producer.
Oh, really?
And then they decide, who shows up when. So people walking in to sell them their stuff had already been pre-screened by a staff member saying, "Oh, this is something we'll buy."
That's annoying.
Well, I suggest
these kinds of shows are pre-vetted, like in the
they're getting more and more so.
Storage Wars, right? No, you didn't accidentally find a vintage Porsche in perfect condition in this storage lot. In the beginning, they were, and then they get successful.
To remind everybody, you got 5 minutes on best offer deals. But I think that since we're on this topic, I think there are little things that you can do. And I know AR did something. I think you said it was over the weekend. A local mall near his house was having, how malls have those small shows, every now and again. It was a comic show. And Alec went with the intention to meet up with some old friends, I think you said. But, you know, and he didn't really have any plans to buy anything, but ended up seeing some stuff that he was going to buy.
Yeah.
Even if you don't buy anything, you know, you see them open up at your local mall or whatever, go out. You may see something you want to buy, even if you didn't intend to buy it. Have a conversation with some of the dealers out there. You know, even if you don't buy anything, you know, let them know you're out there and you still support them and you're a comic book reader. And you might have some great conversation. You never know.
That too.
So
we had a local show here this past weekend.
Say again?
We had a local convention here this past weekend, and I went, and I have beef with the promoter, so I didn't feel compelled to spend money buying a ticket. But I did go get in to see my friends who were there and invited a lot of them to see Batman with me. So it was one of those kind of great ways to see your people. Those are great ways to see your people without having to output a huge expense.
Oh, I feel like, do you see what Jen just said? I did not realize Jen was on Comic Book Men, and I watched that show. It just probably didn't. I have to go back and find this now. Jen said on her episode that is really her convincing Walt to buy a sword.
Right. Like, there were parts of it that were absolutely this. There's several stories I know like this. But cool. By and large, like, and I could talk about it from a production standpoint. If you don't run stuff through producers, you're shooting thousands of hours of footage and maybe getting 30 usable minutes. Like, it's just not economical to do it any other way.
I've been part of a few pilots, like food truck competition pilots, and they strain to have it look real. But yeah, no, the producer, everything kind of goes through that filter of the producer, maybe an assistant producer. Everything is sort of, so when the celebrity just shows up on the street at someone's food truck, there is a lot of that's all kayfabe. That's all kayfabe, man. That's.
But no, I mean, there's small things we can all do. But I also agree with what John's saying, is that just the nature and the structure of the whole thing is shifting, and there's really no way. I mean, what statistic did you quote about the number of LCS?
From what I read, since year 2000, half of all the comic book stores that were open in 2000 are closed, like in 2020.
Yeah.
So in 20 years, they lost half the comic book stores.
I mean, theoretically, best case scenario.
That's a diamond statistic, by the way. That's not a.
I mean, that might be, but all I know is that
statistic.
Like a lot of comic book stores did.
Well, we know for a fact. I mean, beyond just your LCS and comic book stores, we know that brick and mortar has shifted significantly. Okay, I mean, have you been to the Morristown Mall? The big JCPenney's is now going to be a virtual.
Moving into the Morristown Mall is going to be virtual medical.
Yeah, and
it's not going to be a mall like that. It'll be a food court, and there's going to be some kind of car dealership.
There are a lot of restaurants in there now, but the nature. I had to go to the mall the last couple of weeks for one reason or another, but the nature of the mall has changed. It's shifted. I mean, it's not what you remember. I remember you go to the mall, there was a Gap. There was usually a Piercing Pagoda.
Wicks and Sticks.
I hate them all, honestly.
Orange Julius, it is Sears. Dwayne's a pain. You're absolutely right. Sears is gone. Once the anchored stores started to disappear, it became the death of the mall, and now they're trying to restructure. So it's good that virtual health is moving in there.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
all right. Real quick, I can't share the timer tonight. It's not working for whatever reason. I think I need to update my Chrome.
All right. So
45 seconds. 45 seconds.
All right. Yeah. Let's call it 45 seconds. And then Kyle will throw up the end line. Doesn't seem like we have any battles going on tonight, so it shouldn't be a real problem. Lars Man, Walden Books. Yeah, tell me about it.
B. Dalton bookseller.
Yeah, right. I remember that.
There was always a store where somebody was playing like an organ, and I always thought, man, what's the overhead? The guy's got 5 organs in the store. He only has to sell one to make his overhead.
All right. So where Rubenstein says there are more comic stores in my town now, but they sell a lot more than comic books. Yeah, probably. I mean,
there's
definitely that too.
There's DVDs,
Funko Pops. There's
Funko Pops. Various
Pokemon
manga,
cards.
anime,
I mean, hey, you got to do what you got to do. And
that's time, everybody.
If they can expand based on that, more power to you. I mean, I think the biggest challenge is not just pandemic, of course, but the death of brick and mortar as retail stores.
Well, technology has changed a lot of that. I don't want to leave the house, and I want this jacket.
Tower Records, perfect example. Game stores parading as comic shops. Dwayne's a pain. But gaming stores, because you don't need to go and buy a physical game anymore. It's a major shift. So I don't think comics are going anywhere exactly, but.
Oh, good note. If anybody bought anything, you see Kyle throwing up the link. Click on the link. Make sure we have all your information. People are probably tired of hearing us say this, but there's always someone. I hate to say it. There's always someone that forgets, right? So make sure we have your ship to address, your real name. If you're using like a
ship to is very important.
And as always, if there's something you're looking for, email Rex.
Yes.
And say, hey, look, man, I'd really like some more Submariner. Do you have any out there? And, there's no guarantees, but, there's a good chance Rex can,
if I can get it, I will absolutely do my best to try and bring it on the air for you guys. Let me see. And to remind everybody, on Friday night, Nick will be here from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern for the original art show. So even if you're not a collector of original art, it's a real cool show to tune in. You'll see some great art.
It tells like these cool stories too. I really like that. I used to do that show with him a little bit.
All right, Stevie B, you got it. I'll put you down for a 10-pack.
And check out AR show.
Definitely check out AR show. I know AR's been doing a lot of shorts as well. So changing the format, and they look like they've been, you've been telling me they've been real popular and a lot of fun to do. A lot of great content. AR_comics. You can find them anywhere. If Kyle gets a chance, we'll throw a link up. Definitely check out a lot of great content there. I think one of the great things about AR is whatever he talks about, he's going to be brutally honest about it. If he didn't like it, he's going to tell you he didn't like it.
It's like an unvarnished opinion, and there's not a lot of that. There's a lot of now. I hate to say this, but I went through this. One of the reasons I'm glad I got out of doing like radio and podcasts. There's like this big push. Everybody wants a sponsor, right? So, and then the sponsor expects, they want things to kind of be your way or whatever. Alec just kind of tells you now, I'm not feeling that. I'm not, I didn't like it, or we talked about Stray Dogs. And I remember I got people, we talked about Stray Dogs.
It's Miss Ellie. All right.
This is about to pick up.
Wow, look at this. Our viewership just shot way up, man. There she is. She's like, oh, I love you, Ellie.
I know.
I love you, man. Why do you keep doing these stupid shows? Spend time with me.
He's got to keep her in a heated bed.
That is what's called dog, and we've only seen her for a couple seconds, and I can already tell.
Oh, yeah, she's tiny.
She's like, tiny. I love you, man. Very cute.
The dog is the main event. The rest of
she is.
Yeah, I know.
I'm glad she made an appearance.
Can we keep the dog on for the whole next show Wednesday?
John, everybody, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Kind of reiterate what Nick said.
Yeah.
John, Dwayne's in Pain, Stevie B, Lars Man, Ronald, who probably got tired of waiting for stuff, bought and left. John Spiller, thanks everybody for joining us.
We appreciate all our viewers.
Yeah, if you're looking for books and a local comic book store is not the option, hit somebody up on, it seems like we're just sitting here and having fun, but almost everybody in the room except for me is some level of retailer, some level of dealer that they can help you find books or whatever. I think people watch the shows maybe a little bit and they forget that. You know what I mean? Like Jen just waited a few minutes ago. Jen's a retailer. Kyle's, all these people have stores or whatever.
And if you haven't done it yet, please hit thumbs up, subscribe,
the notification bell.
Same thing if you visit AR's channel as well. As always, thanks to all the viewers. Thank you, AR, for joining us.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you for having me.
Nick says caring is sharing, but okay.
I don't think that's what it was meant for. Thank you, John. Thank you, Kyle, for producing as always. And we will see you guys on Monday next week. And don't forget to check out, I'm on AR's channel on Tuesdays at 4. Always a great time there as well. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you, guys.